Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. On this particular cricket show, we'll talk about a match which happened in Bloemfontein. Yesterday, when I was giving you the preview, I was telling Bloemfontein is generally considered in South Africa to be a very good batting pitch of what we have seen in the past. But today, it was a different story altogether. In fact, this pitch would be under real a sort of a question mark after the balls were seen absolutely flying past the handle of the batsman, flying past the face of the batsman. There were a lot of body blows for the batsman, and I don't think it was a very good one-day pitch. And first, South Africa were bowled out for 198, so only thanks to Steyn, who actually came back into the match, making his comeback and had a wonderful comeback as he got his maiden ODI 50. I mean, he had never gotten a maiden ODI 50 in his career, and here he comes and takes South Africa to safety at 198, and eventually that proved to be the winning score as Zimbabwe were bowled out for 78 on a spiteful pitch. As I said, what I said yesterday totally turned to the contrary, as it was something like it was a minefield for the batsman, and it was a sort of a not easygoing, but I would say it was an easy wicket for the bowlers, easy for the bowlers to take wickets on this pitch, and Zimbabweans were bowled out for 78. So South Africa almost has won the series, because the 3-match series, South Africa won the match by 120 runs. It also included an Imran Tahir hat-trick as they were bowled out. So I'll be talking about that match in a while from now, and then we'll also have do a preview of the first test match which is coming up between India and West Indies, where West Indies are touring India. The match is going to be played at Rajkot, and I will do a brief preview on that. But first, we'll talk about the South Africa-Zimbabwe match. As I said, first I'll talk about the pitch, that the Bloemfontein pitch was not really a very good pitch, and one probably feels that ICC, if there is a complaint being lodged, one is quite sure that it will result in some demerit points there. So, but just talking about the game, South Africa won the toss and they decided to elect to bat. They elected to bat, and one could see right from the beginning that the ball was really flying off at real pace, as the ball was hitting the cracks and rising high, sometimes past the batsman, sometimes past the batsman's body. There were some body blows as well, and suddenly things started. It was all started by Tendai Chatara, who actually went on to dismiss Dean Elgar by getting him caught by Brendan Taylor. It was an outside edge. As you know, Elgar normally has this habit of pushing inside the line, and that's what precisely happened. That ball from Chatara came in, and it was holding its line, and that was the end of Dean Elgar. Caught Taylor bowled Chatara 4 of 7 deliveries with 1 boundary. After that, Reza Hendricks was clean bowled by Kyle Jarvis for 1. The ball scooted because of the pitch, and he was gone for 1. Henry Klaasen was promoted in the batting order, but it resulted in him being a victim of the bowling of Chatara, as he picked the wrong ball. He went for the pull shot to mid-wicket, and it was all over. Solomon Meyer had taken the catch. He was gone for 1, but Aidan Markram played some very good strokes in his knock of 35 of 49 deliveries, which included 6 boundaries. And Donald Tripano, the medium pace bowler, was there, and he was the one who took the wicket, as this was a short and wide ball outside the off stump, and Markram wanted to really have a go at it, and the ball actually had a bit of extra bounce because of the pitch, and Taylor took the catch, and that went to the Taylor. So Aidan Markram 35 gone with 6 boundaries. So that made the score 49 for 4, and suddenly the South African innings, as I said, the pitch was responsible for everything. But then Kai Zondo and Christian Jonker combined in a good partnership to actually give some sort of stability to the innings. but not much, I would say. From 49, they pushed on the score to 85 before Brian Mawuta picked up both the batsmen's wickets with his leg spin bowling. As first he picked up in fact, Kaya Zonda just hit him for a boundary, but Zonda actually still kept giving the ball some air, and he drew the batsman forward, and that was it. The keeper, Brendan Taylor, whipped off the bails in a flash. Kaya Zondo gone. Stump Taylor bowled Mawuta, the right arm leggy, 21 of 28 deliveries, 2 fours, 1 6. Jonker was the next to go, bowled by Mawuta for 25, 19 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6. He decided to play in an aggressive vein today, Christian Jonker, and there was a ball which was tossed up by Mawuta. It was pitching on the leg stump, and the ball straightened, and Jonker was already into his stride to have a go at it, and he missed it, and the ball hit the stumps, and Jonker was gone. Bowled Mawuta 25 of 19 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6, 85 for 5, and 92 for 6 when Kaya Zondo left, and then Dumini was LBW bowled Jarvis for 5, the captain of the team, and that really made things a bit difficult as the score read 101 for 7 at the halfway stage, and now one thought that Zimbabwe would definitely wrap it up, but they had Andy Felikwayo, not wrap up because they just still have Felikwayo, but Felikwayo needed some resistance or some support at the other end, and that came in from Dale Steyn. In fact, Felikwayo and Dale Steyn combined in a good partnership. From 101 for 7, they realized 75 runs. They made sure that South Africa will try to play the entire 50 overs. And one saw that Dale Steyn not only was, yes, definitely the pitch was not easy to bat on, but full credit to Andrew Felikwayo, who played in a measured manner, looking at the situation. Dale Steyn kept on going, even though Felikwayo was dismissed at 176. But by the time Dale Steyn had already put on runs on the board, he was getting runs. In fact, he had moved on to his maiden 50 in ODI cricket on his comeback here, and what a knock from Dale Steyn. And he and Felikwayo were the reason that South Africa could muster 198. Felikwayo out to Chatara, 28 of 44 deliveries, 1 4 1 6. Dale Steyn, as I said, would have been very happy with this knock. He was bowled by Trapano for 60 of 85 deliveries, 8 fours and 1 6. Really showing that he could be playing as an all-rounder for South Africa here. Definitely showed well. 8 fours and 1 6 in that knock of 60 from Dale Steyn. Well done, Dale Steyn. And it's only thanks to Dale Steyn that South Africa went on to a winning total of 198 on this very, very spiteful pitch. Imran Tahir was LBW bowled Williams for 1. Giddy was not out on 4, who gave company to Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn was the last to go, and Dale Steyn tried his best to see to it that South Africa would occupy the 50 overs. It was not to be. The South Africans were bowled out for 198 in 47.3 overs. Kyle Jarvis, the 10 overs, 2 minutes, 2 for 26. Chatara, 9 overs, 1 minute, 42 runs and 3 wickets. Trapano, 8.3 overs, 1 minute, 37 runs and 2 wickets. Brian Mawuta, leggy, 10 overs, 2 for 48. And Sean Williams, 10 overs, 1 for 43. That was the bowling analysis of the Zimbabwean bowlers. Now, Zimbabwe, getting a target of 198 was not going to be easy. As I said, it was a spiteful pitch. 199 to get a 50 overs. The pressure was right on Zimbabwe, right from ball 1. And Dale Steyn, on his comeback, actually got a very quick breakthrough when he sent Solomon Meyer back to the pavilion, getting him LBW. Solomon Meyer was the first to go, as this was a ball on the stumps from Dale Steyn, and there was a bit of movement as the ball came back and wrapped Meyer on the back pad, and that was the end of Solomon Meyer. LBW bowled Steyn for 2 of 3 deliveries. That was the first wicket, so it was 10 for 1 in the third over. Now Masakadza was joined in by the captain, was joined in by Craig Irvine, but Craig Irvine actually suffered a few blows on his anatomy from Steyn because of the spitefulness of the pitch, and Steyn let the ball really fly at a rapid rate, and he picked up the wicket of Craig Irvine, which was the wicket number 2, as this was a ball which was dug in short by Dale Steyn, and Craig Irvine went for the pull shot. Short mid-wicket was into the picture. Philiquaya was the man, and that was the end of Craig Irvine. Caught Philiquaya, bowled Steyn for 3 of 24 deliveries. Craig Irvine was really struggling against the pace of Dale Steyn, and the score at 26 for 2 in the 9th over, and all the runs were scored by none other than the Zimbabwean captain Hamilton Masakadza. Now Brendan Taylor walked in. To join Masakadza, and Brendan Taylor was dismissed by the leg spinner Imran Tahir, as Imran Tahir sold him. He fooled him with a googly. It was a googly and it was not properly read by Brendan Taylor. He went for a forward defensive stroke. Ball hit the pad, up in the umpire's finger. 3 for 43 for 3 in the 14th over. But Hamilton Masakadza was still hanging on there. But then Hamilton Masakadza was LBW bowled Nigiri for 27, and definitely even the Zimbabwean innings was going the South African way. They were 43 for 4 in the 15th over, as Masakadza was caught in the crease by Nigiri. There was an angle, it was an angling delivery from Lungi Igiri, and the bounce really did him in. Masakadza was a goner, 27 with 2 fours. Now they had two new batsmen at the crease, and Sean Williams and Peter Moore were the batsmen at the crease. And this was the time the score read when Masakadza was out, it was 43, and then we had Sean Williams. Now this was the hat-trick from Imran Tahir. The first wicket he took of Sean Williams. Now that was very well done. He drew Sean Williams forward, beat him in the flight, and Klassen did a good stumping. So that was wicket number 1 of the last delivery. So Sean Williams was gone for 9 of the bowling from Imran Tahir of 8 deliveries with 2 fours, and then he wrapped in the next over. He went on to wrap Peter Moore on the pads. He got LBW Imran Tahir for 5 of 20 deliveries, and he went on to add I think it was Brian Mawuta's wicket as well, and that was the hat-trick for Imran Tahir, as Brian Mawuta was clean bowled by Imran Tahir, and Imran Tahir went off on that great celebration of his, normally as he does. He runs away with the ball all the way down to the boundary line, and that's what, and he was proclaiming, and one knows that Imran Tahir really celebrates every wicket, and once he took the hat-trick, one definitely saw that celebration from Imran Tahir, the customary celebration that Imran Tahir normally does. And now, with the hat-trick gone, now the Zimbabwe's chances were almost next to none, with the score reading 59 for 8, and after that it was quick work, as Jarvis was bowled by Imran Tahir for 1, Chatara was gone to Imran Tahir for 3, and Tripano remained not out on 12 of 16 deliveries with 2 boundaries, and that was the end of the Zimbabwean innings. Zimbabwe were folded up for 78 of just 24 overs, and Dale Steyn smoked it at the top, 6 overs, 2 for 19. Lungi Giri, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 26. Philiquaya fires 1 for 7, but Imran Tahir was the one who did it to them. 6 overs, 1 maiden, 24 runs, and he picked up 6 wickets, including a hat-trick. But the man of the match, which I think was rightly given to Dale Steyn, because he was the one who propped up the South African total to 198 with his maiden 50, and also picked up 2 wickets at the top of the order. So Dale Steyn was named man of the match. So very good comeback for Dale Steyn. Now we get on to the, so as I said, South Africa is a 3-match series. South Africa have already won the series now. They've already taken a 2-0 lead. So it's a winning lead in the series with only 1 to go, and that should be a mere formality. Zimbabwe can salvage something if they could win the 3rd one. But the Bloemfontein, the Mangang Oval, Bloemfontein definitely would be questioned, because it was not a pitch which was really there for a one-day match between the two teams. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions raised as to why this pitch was chosen to actually play the match, because it was really does come in for some heavy criticism from all the expert cricket commentators and all the other South African players as well, former players I mean to say. So that is as far as that is concerned. Now let's get on to a very brief preview of the first test match of the series, which is coming up between West Indies and India. West Indies definitely have some problems to grapple with Kemar Roach, their strike bowler, and of late, as we know, he has been doing a wonderful job. Kemar Roach, he has been the prime strike bowler for West Indies by not only picking up wickets and bowling in a very penetrative manner, but unfortunately, due to his death of his grandmother, he has gone back to Barbados. And as I said yesterday, Kemo Paul would be the one who would actually replace, would be replacing replacing him, Kemo Paul. So the West Indies batting, and West Indies have been struggling. One would think that Indians are favourites, but again, I think one has to wait and watch. But I'm told that West Indies last won a test match in India in the year 1994. So just imagine, it's been 24 years that West Indies have not won a single test against India in India. And I'm sure West Indies want to change that totally. They would be having a great challenge, no doubt about it, from the Indian spinners in particular. But it would be interesting to see how they combat the Indians. Now, this is going to be played at Rajkot, the first test match. West Indies Craig Brathwaite, as we all know, is a very technically perfect batsman, and he's someone who can wear out the bowlers throughout the day by sticking to the crease. So Craig Brathwaite and Kieron Powell would be the ones who would be opening the innings. They are the sort of a trusted test opening pair for West Indies nowadays. And then they have a world-class player, Shai Hope, coming in. Of late, he has not been in some great form, so Hope would hope to actually get into top form against the Indians. Sunil Ambrose, on the sheer performance of his against the board President's 11 in the first tour match, has clinched his place. And then they have Shimron Hetmyer, another. To me, Shimron Hetmyer is the best talent to emerge from the West Indies among everybody, because he is someone who has already shown that he belongs to the big stage. He has definitely made his mark, according to me, and this would be a sort of a real test for him on Indian wickets, Shimron Hetmyer. Then they have Roston Chase, another very good all-rounder, useful all-rounder, and definitely a permanent part of the West Indian team nowadays. Shane Dowd is the wicketkeeper. He's a he's a good wicketkeeper, no doubt, but he's also a very handy bat to have. And then Jason Holder himself, an all-rounder, will be captaining the side, and the bowling would be in the hands of Jason Holder and Shannon Gabriel. Shannon Gabriel, as you know, is a prime strike bowler. He had a wonderful time when the Indians toured the West Indies by picking up a lot of wickets. So Shannon Gabriel is someone, but it will be interesting to see whether Shannon Gabriel can hit the same pace here because of the nature of the Indian pitches. And Kemo Paul is very nippy, and he can really surprise you with your pace and bounce, Kemo Paul. And Devendra Bishu, the right arm leg spinner, the specialist leg spinner. But West Indies would be probably thinking, there's also news that the BCCI curators have gone there, and they have probably tried to prepare a pitch with lots of pace and bounce as it would be in Australia, I'm told. If that is the case, if India is trying to take this as an experiment and see to it that whether to get the pace and bounce so that India get used to the pace and bounce of the pitches in Australia, and I think that will be a wonderful thing. It is something which should be done, and hopefully it gets done. As far as the Indian team is concerned, Indian team will see the debut for Prithvi Shaw. So Mayank Agarwal has to wait in the wings, but Prithvi Shaw would be making his test debut. So KL Rahul and Prithvi Shaw will open the innings. So it's a new test opening pair after the trusted Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan were both left out. Cheteshwar Pujara, the rock of the Indian batting. Virat Kohli is back after the short break now, so he will captain the Indian side. Ajinkya Rahane and then Rishabh Pant is getting an opportunity to really show his skills in front of India, and from where he has really scored in a very prolific manner, as we all know. So it'll be interesting because after getting a ticket to the Tour of England. And the spin twins, Ravindra Jadeja and Ashwin, always a big threat to the opposition on Indian pitches, no doubt about it. And then the pace bowling attack would comprise of Umesh Yadav and Mohammad Shami sharing the new ball, and whether India would be prompted to go for a third spinner, Kuldeep Yadav, or whether it be Shardul Thakur. I'm sure if the BCCI creators have created something akin to what India is going to play in face in Australia with the pace and bounce of the pitch, then I wouldn't be the least surprised if Shardul Thakur is included. And Shardul Thakur would also make his test debut. But other than that, Kuldeep Yadav also has his hat in the ring here. So it will be interesting as to who gets the nod. Other than that, dear fans and subscribers, there's nothing to really talk about. It's about time for me to bid you all a very good night on this cricket show by promising that I'll be seeing you all tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. That's on a Thursday. Until then, good night.